What's up, y'all? It's Carla, aka Law the Poet, and this is DV Awareness Part 2. I've been sharing from some excerpts from my trauma diary. It really does help to write down your thoughts and to write down some of your experiences so you can process them and move past them. So I'm going to read just a few more excerpts. And if you're a DV survivor or someone that has survived abuse, please comment, and let me know, how you dealt with it or how you have faced it or moved past it. So this excerpt is a quick one. It's called Clones. It's always a scary experience or a nervous experience to see someone who resembles or looks like your abuser. I've seen quite a few men that look like my ex-husband and some that looked like a guy who I used to talk to who became abusive. My reaction seems to be similar. My heart starts to beat fast. I get anxious and frightened. But as you get closer to the person, you give a second glance and you realize it's not them. You feel a little bit of relief, but have a heightened sense of being on alert. Now you are looking around to make sure your abuser isn't there. And sometimes you really believe it's them and you go into defense mode. The person may wear similar clothes, may have the same build, same goatee, same height, same skin color, like a clone, but it's not them. And you wonder when you'll stop feeling anxious or afraid. Okay, so yeah, that's some of the aspects that you go through when you go through CPTSD. Okay, my next excerpt is called Scars, and it's also a very short excerpt. Most of my scars are the ones that can't be seen. They are on the inside. You can feel them every time you see a scene from a movie that might have violence or something similar to abuse in reality or in the street, or every time you have a flashback or experience or of a trigger. One scar from my childhood, which reminds me of the abuse, is a scar on my left hand. It stayed there after all these years, even though it's lightened and you can hardly see it anymore. I know it's there. I can't remember my exact age. I might have been around 5 or 6 years old. My mom and dad had just fought, yelling, cursing, arguing. He may have choked her. She may have resisted. But a favorite pastime after my parents would have a fight is they would sit down and smoke a cigarette, right, in the kitchen. So after their fights or abusive episodes, they would sit apart at the table in the kitchen and they would smoke. I remember being told to sit down, and I sat in the middle of them. Some of the ashes from my dad's cigarette fell on my left hand and burned me, and it left a scar. And even to this day, it's a reminder of what I went through. Okay? And finally, excerpt number 3 is called Oceans. And I wrote this one. This one actually has a date, and it says 2013. And this is after I left my abusive situation, maybe about 2 or 3 years after. There are some days where my feelings are so intense. I feel betrayed, angry, sad, at times depressed, lonely, at times rage, irritated, impatient, because I just want to get to the healing part and be over this already. There are times you are tempted to want your life back, want things back to the way they used to be, when things made sense and everybody got along. But the reality and the truth smacks me in the face, and I realize things will never go back to being the way they used to be. Things will never be the same again. I am past the point of no return and beyond. The truth and knowledge that I found out, and the realization of the fact that I was being abused, mistreated, disrespected, taken advantage of, and violated by the very people that I loved so much and trusted, has changed the person that I am forever. I'm forever changed. I'm a brand new person. The naive, codependent, desperate for love and approval version of who I was before is now dead. The new independent, sharp-edged, more informed, non-tolerant of abuse and bullshit in any form, assertive me has emerged and is here to stay. But there are moments where I feel as if I'm swimming in the deep ocean of my emotions. There are waters all around me, waves crashing against me. My emotions, my feelings are so raw, so intense. I used to be numb and deny them and repress them, but now I feel them and it's such an intense experience, like being stuck in the middle of an ocean. So angry at times, so sad at times, so numb at other times, and so conflicted at other times. So those were 3 excerpts from my trauma diary. And these are some of the things that abuse survivors, child abuse survivors, and domestic violence survivors go through. I am thankful to still be in therapy. I am a big supporter of people that go to therapy. If you get the right therapist, they can really give you perspective and help on how to deal with these things. And if you don't go to a therapist, there's also mentors. There's also, if you have a strong relationship with a pastor or someone from a religious institution, or just someone in the family that you look to, for advice, or someone who has a lot of wisdom, those are people that could be helpful, okay, in navigating your feelings and your emotions. So that's all I have to say for now. Domestic violence survivors, I stand with you. And I hope that everybody continues to keep their head up and keep the faith. Peace.